Wow, hiccups right at the start of a cast. I could all of a sudden just rewind that, but why not? All right, Happy versus Sonic, game 1 in the series, as we see Happy spawning as the blue undead on the bottom left-hand side of the map of Secret Valley. Meanwhile, on the top right, we have Sonic spawning as the yellow night elf. Yes, I know, another Undead versus Night Elf matchup. Not quite sure why I seem to have a cornucopia of these particular matchups as of late, but hopefully I will be able to cast some other additional games. Still waiting on Zotac Cup 73 to come out, as we're now looking at Sonic clearing out this creep camp off over here. Demon Hunter up in the foreground, in the vanguard position, gonna go ahead and clear out this 5-3-3 creep camp. Meanwhile, back over here, you see the Death Knight waiting on perhaps, I don't know what the Death Knight's waiting on, a couple of ghouls. The ghouls were working a lot, trying to gather as much lumber. This ghoul deciding, you know what, I'm just gonna bring my wood with me, as we now join in on the fight. All right, Death Knight maybe going after that Wisp, and it looks like that Wisp may get taken down, and it does with a detonation. Meanwhile, off over here, skeletal minions are taking a bit of damage as well. This ghoul may be forced to back off here. Wow, even microwing that ghoul away does not break aggro from that Null Overseer. Manual of Health has been picked up. Death Knight already, well, will be very, very close to level 2 as long as the Demon Hunter does not steal this kill, and it will not, picking up a Ring of Protection +2. All right, you can take a look. That ghoul down to 97 hit points, takes one shot, and it will be able to slip through right there and just hide in a very, very strange position for that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter decides, you know what, I'm just going to use Immolation and come across over here. All right. Now, this is going to be actually a rather strange predicament for all the Acolytes and all these units. They're now going to be running back off to the north here. Nerubian Tower will be coming online here in just a moment. As you can see, one Acolyte is purposely holding position right there, and now we are just actually rotating with these ghouls. Now, the Demon Hunter is sitting at level 2, so it is not in a good position to try and, well, try and fight out this fight. He does not want to resurrect. And he is going to be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal, and he is going to absolutely drain these Moonwells for all of this early play. Yes, 3 Moonwells over. I would guesstimate about 450 mana was used, and it's not even at full mana or full hit points. That is one of the reasons why Immolation is such a dangerous strategy for Demon Hunters to use, even in a very, very, what looked to be a very good situation down over here. Happy was able to handle that without much of an issue, as we now see the Death Knight going after the creep camp here. All right, level 2 now on the Death Knight. Death Knight should be able to get in some death coils. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter looking to join back in. He's looking for where possibly the Death Knight could be. Death Knight is actually off over here enjoying a very, very good time, getting a bit of health as we now take a look. All right, Demon Hunter once more going back into that very, very strange spot, and that low hit point ghoul will in fact be able to make it. And if you were wondering how that ghoul was able to make its way through, well, I'm actually not quite sure, as we now see the Nerubian Tower coming across here. All right, you can see that Demon Hunter is going to be in a very, very sticky situation once more, and he is now down to 245 some odd hit points, does not have Immolation anymore, and is now trying to escape and will be able to teleport back home. Demon Hunter draining all of these Moonwells again. This is not a good spot for this Demon Hunter to be, as the Demon Hunter looking for where possibly the Death Knight army is. Death Knight looking to clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp. No more a Rod of Necromancy charge. Actually, no, wait. One more Rod of Necromancy charge is all that is available. And level 3 on the Death Knight will be coming here. And this game looks like one that I've already... No, the Immolation strategy was not... this did have a sense of flashback for just a moment, but no, the Immolation strategy was in fact unique, as the Panda now coming across off over here. Demon Hunter, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, going to try and clear out the center portion off over here. Death Knight getting a surround with ghouls on this Ancient of War. Ancient of War trying to finish things off here. Not going to really work. It is going to attempt to eat a tree and get taken out in the process. There it goes, as the Death Knight now takes a mana burn while dealing a good death coil. That death coil did deal about 150 damage because of the natural magic resistance of the hero type armor, as we now see that the Drunken Haze about to come to an end. All right, skeletal minions causing the units to trip up just a bit, and tripping over a pile of bones, so to speak, allows the ghouls to get away. Now, purposely dropping down the Claws of Attack +6 and Boots of Speed, which is going to quickly pick those back up, as we are now already about 1/3 of the way to Black Citadel. Archers purposely pulling that red Drake away, but the ghouls are now rushing in. This potentially could be a very, very dangerous play indeed. Which gets in some cold arrows. Are we going to perhaps see a death coil? No death coil. The Demon Hunter does not. Oh, it did in fact go for a mana burn, and a temporary 1-second mana burn really pushed him out of his position as he now heads back off to the north. And this is always a dangerous spot for a Night Elf player to be. Every single Moonwell pretty much bone dry, and it is just at the break of dawn. What does that mean? It means that you are going to have a very, very low hit point army in just a moment. Archers, Demon Hunter, all these units do take a little bit of damage. Are we going to see some damage come across here? All right, there goes one. Oh, wait, how come the Archers are not getting hit? No, Demon Hunter once more using Immolation, and now going to go ahead and transition back over to the Panda instead. Witch trying to get away, does have Boots of Speed, but so does that Witch. Staff of Preservation saves, as the Demon Hunter still has somehow a little bit of mana. All right. Immolation coming across here, but the Demon Hunter is in a very, very big trouble, and it is going to, in fact, get taken down. Is it going to get to level... Oh, it could have gotten to level 3. If it actually finished that ghoul, it would have gotten to level 3 right before it fell. I don't know if that would have actually been worse for... Happy, or excuse me, Sonic, as we now Happy going to easily finish off the remainder of these archers. All right. 2 more units quickly taken down there. Death Knight now looking to regroup. Gonna get back on the Blight, regenerate some hit points. Obsidian Statue about to come online. Ghoul Frenzy being added as well. And this very, very strong Ghoul strategy may end up becoming a problem. Panda was stabbed of Preservation back home, so there was some experience gain for that ghoul who died a long time ago. All right, what is this Death Knight really looking to do? It has invisibility, but it can't really do any sort of harassment. We also see a fair number of Dryads being added, and we are not transitioning into Crypt Fiends yet. This is a bit strange. We do have one Naga Sea Witch, and that is pretty much it. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is still wandering around here and is going to perhaps come across all of these Dryads off over here. All right, let's take a look. Death Knight off over here. Dryads still putting on a little bit of pressure, as we now see the Naga Sea Witch quickly turn back around and going after those units. All right, you can, back in the center portion of the map, Death Knight not doing very much. Getting level 4 would actually be rather beneficial. Naga Sea Witch, however, going to be closer and closer to level 2. Did the Dryads steal that bit of experience? I actually believe so, yeah. The Dryads actually stole that experience, hence the Panda being a little bit higher on experience there, as we now see the Dryads trying to get away. All right. Slow poison coming across. It looks as though that one ghoul is going to get taken down. There it goes. Orb of Corruption is now out, as we are going to see a little bit of damage coming across from both sides. I am a bit surprised, though, that Happy did not capitalize on his early advantage all that much, and he actually gave room for Sonic to come back into this game. What looked like an easy game for Sonic now turning into a little bit of a comeback. What looked like an easy game for, Happy, now looks like a bit of a comeback for Sonic, as we now see the Death Knight still off over here. Is the Death Knight going to perhaps do anything off over here? Let's take a look. The Demon Hunter is taking a little bit of damage. There is the Death Knight Steel picking up the item, and I swear this game looks very, very familiar. All right, I need to check after the end of this. Once more. All right, Demon Hunter now looking to back off there. That play looked very, very similar, as the Death Knight still wandering around here. Naga Sea Witch coming in. Naga Sea Witch with Claws of Attack +9 and +6. Lich is off over here as well. Naga Sea Witch going to clear things up, as Happy going to end up getting this one particular destroyer cleared out. All right, these games might be mislabeled as the Demon Hunter now going after the Red Drake here. All right, Dryads going after the Red Drake here. Demon Hunter with Orb of Venom now looking to finish off this Red Drake. Red Drake is about to get taken down, and it is currently regenerating health at the Fountain of Health, but no real loss there as the Panda will get to level 2 and picks up, decides to leave behind Devotion Aura. All right, this must be a new type of play. Not only leaving behind tomes, but leaving behind auras that you don't like. Why would you not want an additional point of armor for the rest of your units? Demon Hunter now looking to pull back across over here. Meanwhile, Death Knight now heading back off to the north here. You can see the Death Knight looking to pull back as you now see, the army now coming back down across over here. All right, Dryads, Bears, and Panda is in position. Crypt Fiends are now slowly starting to get trained up as it looks like the Death Coil is not going to come in on time as we now see a Breath of Fire there. All right, going after the Bears. One Bear does get taken down. A second Bear could get taken down, or perhaps Staff of Preservation first, and it looks like that will get taken down. Lich now sitting at level 2. Frost Nova, another Bear going to get taken down. And wow, with 3 Bears now down, Potion of Invulnerability on the Lich, things are just looking so up and up for the Undead. All right. Demon Hunter, all right, Dryad, Panda now trying to get away, Death Coil, and it looks as though, Staff of Preservation at the last possible second. Panda now back home, looking very strong. All right, Naga Sea Witch. Well, a mass number of Dryads now pulling back across over here. Where are they going to be going to next? Black Citadel, Slaughterhouse now showing training on an Abomination, and I'm going to go quickly hang up that phone. Just unplug that phone. Anyways, back down across over here. Ogre Lord looking to finish off the Panda now. Ogre Lord now heading back off to the north as we are looking to clear out this creep camp. Back down over here to the south. Naga Sea Witch, Lich, and Death Knight looking to go after an Ogre Lord creep camp here. Ogre Lord currently sitting at negative or only 6 armor after after a little bit of the debuff there. Ogre Magi going to get taken out, and now all that's remaining are a couple of Forest Troll Berserkers. Death Knight does have a Crystal Ball. He will be able to use that, and he does reveal off to the north. Panda sitting at level 3. Demon Hunter sitting at 4. The Devotion Aura most likely is still just sitting right there. Yeah, a Lion Stormwind just sitting off to the side as we now see the Forest Troll Berserker get taken out. Back off to the north here. Panda, Bears, all looking to clear out creep camps. Are we going to see the Death Knight pick up a long-lost item? Yes, he is. And he's like, okay, he's probably wondering what is going on right there. As the Death Knight now slips back off to the north again. Naga Sea Witch with an additional point of armor. 6% effective hit point increase for all of the units as the Death Knight now slips off to the north here. All right, let's take a look. Naga Sea Witch looking to engage. Moonwells are going to start to get pressured here. Wisp quickly gets Death Coiled off to the north as it's trying to escape. And the Lich is going to continue to clean all this up. Happy versus Sonic. Demon Hunter now coming back around the corner. Jangle of Endurance or a Mana Burn quickly coming across as well. Druid of the Claw. As all the units are now looking to back around, you can see, there was what appeared to be absorbed mana, but nothing really was absorbed there at all. Units now trying to head back away. Once again, Moonwells are fairly full right now, which is definitely going to help in the upcoming fight. Crypt Fiends, however, very, very low on hit points, as we see a lot of Dryads and Bears ready to go, except the Dryads are actually in the front position instead of the Bears. The Dryads are chasing, and with that, the Obsidian Statue is the slowest item or slowest unit there, as the units do trip up on a sheep. All right, this is still anyone's game at this point. Naga Sea Witch, Lich, and Death Knight. Destroyers are ready to go. As we see now back off to the north, Demon Hunter looking to clear out this creep camp and finish things up. Murlocs all cleaned up right there. Dryads, Bears all ready to go. Panda sitting at level 3 with Belt of Giant Strength as the last remaining creep camps are slowly getting cleared out. A little bit of extra gold may not get... Well, nope, the Lich may in fact get to level 3 here. It's going to be... Yeah, it will in fact get to level 3 here as the Nightcrawler and the Murloc Huntsman get taken down. There is only one more creep off to the north here as the Destroyer is still flying about. Back off to the north here. Panda now looking to finish off a Nightcrawler. There it goes. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength. Bears now looking to clean things up. There they go as well. There goes a Murloc again as the Dryads now heading back down to the south. Naga Sea Witch, Death Knight looking to clean things up at the last creep camp available, and both of these armies should be engaging against each other in just a little bit. Is this... It looks as though the Undead is going to have a big advantage, and this actually really reminds me of a game, and this says it's from Gera Gcup 72, so not quite sure what to make of this. Gonna speed things up a little bit just to see if I remember correctly what's gonna happen. Demon Hunter is just invisible, running around. Dryads are not engaging. Demon Hunter is not engaging. Both sides are just collecting as much gold as possible, waiting for a big encounter, and no one is doing anything at all. Ancient of Lore, and we are getting armor upgrades there. Death Knight now looking to pull back here as the Dryads almost finish that off. Demon Hunter now going to be in a little bit of trouble. Is it going to get taken out? Yes, it does. So the Demon Hunter ends up falling at the hands of the Undead army as the Dryads now pull back away. Most likely going to resurrect the Demon Hunter at the tavern. In addition to giving a little bit of experience, a big issue now is that you are going to be losing a bit of gold even if you resurrect at the tavern. All right, it looks as though waiting to resurrect at the tavern. No, it looks as though the Death Knight trying to venture forth to go a little bit shopping decides it is not a good idea. Crypt Fiends are now 3-0 upgrade. Lots of Crypt Fiends ready to go. Dryad still wandering back around. As are we resurrecting the Demon Hunter the old-fashioned way? Yes, resurrecting the Demon Hunter the old-fashioned way. We are about halfway done. All right, going to 4 times speed once more. Dryads just dancing back around again and again. Destroyers are looking for that rest of the army, and now this does remind me of a previous game, even though it is not. This game was not played in Gcup 72. Dryads now prancing back down to the south here. Demon Hunter now heading back off to the north. Gonna be heading back over to the shop, and, well, still going at it. Dryads testing that front door, deciding to back away. Just all the units are just dancing and prancing all around. About 30 seconds left of gold mining as we now see the Tree of Eternity walking over to this gold mine here to try and establish up a new base. Unhaunting this gold mine here, sitting at 89 over 90. We may be looking at a big fight coming up in just a moment as we now see that the Tree of Eternity may be forced to pull back. 87 over 90. Bear units are all just looking to get into position here. Crypt Fiends are upgraded 3-0. So are all the remaining units as the Dryads are trying to get back into that front. All right, let's take a look at what's going to be happening here. Slow Poison coming across. Abomination does not have the Disease Cloud as the units are trying to just get a shot off onto that Tree of Eternity. No one is mining any gold here, and both sides are just making sure that they do not get into the wrong position. All right, there you go. There is a couple of blows, and that Tree of Eternity went from pretty much full life to a quarter life in a second. Staff of Preservation on that bear there. Teleports all the way back home, and yeah, I definitely did cast this game already. Didn't see all of that Immolation aura earlier as we now see the Panda now coming back across. All right, Frost Nova there, Panda. Sitting at level 4, Death Knight now sitting at 5. Death Knight is in a little bit of trouble. Crypt Fiends or Dryads are all off to the north here. It looks as though a bear could get taken out. Dryad's trying to focus down the Lich, but the Death Knight should have plenty of mana and also has a Scroll of Healing to try and counteract all of this. All right, are we going to see a Scroll of Healing? Yes, we are. There's a Scroll of Healing at the last possible second. Death Coil saving that Crypt Fiend there as we are now still looking at strong fighting coming across. All right, Staff of Preservation doesn't take the units very far as the Tree of Eternity is now taken down. All right, Panda now down to 310 hit points. Both sides still fighting. I believe that was another Scroll of Healing as the Panda going to get taken out there. Lich and Naga Sea Witch do level up. Dryads, mass Dryads off over here. And the Dryads do seem to be enough in number to finish off the remaining Crypt Fiends. That is a big problem as the Death Knight may be forced to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability here in just a moment. Is he going to be able to do so? And it looks as though the mass Dryad army is going to be able to do this. All right, there it goes. A little bit more death all across. Death Knight still wandering around here. Acolytes, what are the units trying to do? Demon Hunter going after, takes down one Frostworm, another Frostworm down to 115 hit points as we now see them turn back around again. All right, Acolytes joining in on the fight. Orb of Venom bringing it in as well. Acolytes trying to come in to engage. Naga Sea Witch is in position. Are we going to be seeing some damage? Mana Burn there, going after the Dryads one at a time as the Death Knight still has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. All right, let's take a look at this. Demon Hunter using Moonwells to its full advantage. Demon Hunter trying to go after, and it looks as though the Demon Hunter will get taken down. Death Knight could be using a Scroll of Town Portal. Come on, just use the Scroll of Town Portal. There it goes. As now the Naga Sea Witch may be forced to use a Scroll, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and, well, Happy takes the game. Let me double check that I didn't already cast this game. It had a lot of similar things. If you guys watched it, well, that means I didn't already cast it.